Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 2025 Brockton Area Prevention Collaborative's Overdose Vigil by Candlelight. My name is Amanda Sandoval, and I serve as the Director of Communications and Prevention Services at High Point Treatment Center. I want to begin by thanking you all for being here tonight to honor the lives lost to the disease of addiction. We are deeply grateful to the entire prevention team for their tireless efforts in planning tonight's event, and to Massasoit Community College and its incredible staff for once again partnering with us to host this event. The Brockton Area Prevention Collaborative is made up of 5 community coalitions who are all represented here tonight: Bridging Lives, the Brockton Mayor's Opioid Overdose Prevention Coalition, EB's Hope, Rockland Cares, and Whitman Hanson Will. Thank you to all of the volunteers whose love, time, and effort make it possible to continue seeing positive change throughout our region. We also extend our appreciation to all of the service providers who participated in the resource fair tonight. Your ongoing support and commitment are essential to the work that we do. We'd like to acknowledge the elected officials joining us here tonight: State Representative Michelle Dubois, Councilor at Large Jean Bradley Devencourt, and any others who are here tonight with us. Before we begin the program, we have a few quick announcements. The bathrooms are located inside of the Student Center building, which is right directly behind us. Free t-shirts are available to anyone who would like one. Each shirt includes a card with a QR code on it, and that has a link to local resources as well as tonight's program agenda. Candles will be distributed to everyone prior to the memorial slideshow. Tonight's vigil is being live streamed by High Point Treatment Center's Prevention Services Department for those who are unable to attend in person, and it's also being recorded by Brockton Cable Access and Whitman Hanson Cable Access. This evening we'll hear stories of grief, hope, and recovery. We'll also be moved by musical performances by Vicki Lynch and Cooper McGuire, and a memorial slideshow honoring our loved ones. This event holds deep meaning for me, both personally and professionally, and I'm grateful to stand here tonight for my 12th vigil and continuing this work in honor of the lives that we've lost and to the families who love them. Now our team would like to introduce our very own Plymouth County District Attorney Tim Cruz. D.A. Cruz has served as Plymouth County District Attorney since November 2001, and over the past 24 years, he has worked to protect and promote the public safety of the nearly 500,000 residents in Plymouth County. Please give a warm welcome to Tim Cruz.
Thanks, Amanda. And I want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight, and I also want to thank the team. I've been to a number of these vigils over the last 12 years or so, or 13 years or so, and this Thursday I'll be in Marshfield at their vigil that they have at the town hall every year also. And there's a number of other ones throughout our county where people are here just like all of us tonight to remember the people that were lost, understand that it's about being aware of this situation and getting in front of it. Here in Plymouth County, we've been so lucky to have such great groups working together. And back approximately 10, 12 years back, but when we put together the Plymouth County Drug Abuse Task Force, which when we noticed that all of a sudden within a year or two, fatal opioid overdoses doubled. And we said, what's going on with that? So let's get people together. Let's all talk about this issue. Let's get the people who are involved in this field and how can we get in front of it. And from that came out the educational standpoint, came out from the Plymouth County Outreach, which has now led to us dealing with drug-endangered kids, stopping cycles of drug abuse, stopping cycles of domestic violence, and trying to help people going forward and keep them out of those cycles. And I think that's been incredibly positive. And it only happens because of all of you who remember this, who come out and remember your loved ones, and remember the other people who are dealing with this same issue as we speak here right now. As we go forward right now here in our county, in about a month or so, we'll be starting with our first community court, which is going to be dealing with the homelessness issues, as well as significant mental health issues and substance abuse issues here in the city of Brockton and the county of Plymouth to get people the help that they need. The way that it will work is giving somebody a hand up and not a hand out, making sure that people are held accountable for their actions, making sure we get people off the streets and get the services that are potentially there, and we can help them. And I think that, when you look at the numbers that we've been dealing with for the course of the last few years, our numbers have gone down significantly, not just in Plymouth County, but in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts regarding fatal opiate overdoses. And that's great. But still, one is one too many. And we need to continue to work together so that number can be driven down to zero. Every day I'll talk to police chiefs, I'll talk to the people in our community regarding these overdose and what can we do to help the people there. And that's what's really important, is remembering that we're all really one big family. And that's really what we're here dealing with at tonight, trying to make sure that we can take care of the people in our family who have this addiction, who have this disease, that we can get in front of it so that at some point down the road, when we have these vigils, we'll be remembering this terrible plight in the past. Working together will make a difference. Communicating together will make a difference. I think this group so incredibly important, and I've watched them grow over the years and what they've become right now, and the difference that they make every day in our community and the lives that they save. And that's what they are. They are lifesavers. And I thank you all for the work that you do on a daily basis. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
Good evening. My name is Hillary, and with great collaboration from wonderful people and friends, this is the 16th vigil that I've taken part in coordinating. But a few years before that, I was living in Dublin, Ireland, and as a first-generation American on that side of my family, I had a wonderful connection of cousins and an extended family who was there watching over me. And my cousin Grania took particular responsibility in that. And she herself had children in her 20s and in their 20s. And for my 21st birthday, with great enthusiasm, she gave me a package. And she said, "This will have great importance to you. This will help you get through the hard times. This will be something that I hope that you look at and you remember your culture and your roots and where you come from." So I opened up the package, and it was a book. And she saw the very ungracious, probably, look on my face when I opened the book, and it wasn't a novel, and it wasn't, something that immediately piqued my interest. And she said, "You know what? Take it back to America, take it back to the States, keep it with you. And someday, when it's time for you, you'll open the book, you'll read it, and hopefully you'll find deep meaning in it, and hopefully it will fill that spot for you." So the book's called the Anam Cara, and I brought it home with me to Massachusetts, and I kept it with me in all of my homes that I've lived in, and it's the spiritual wisdom from the Celtic world. It was written by John O'Donohue, and John O'Donohue was born on the first day of 1956 in what is now known as Connemara in Ireland, which is a very holy and special space in the western coast. And he went through his school and his education there, and after he finished secondary school, he went into the seminary immediately out of high school. And he became an ordained Catholic priest in 1979 at the age of 23. And he continued his work and his vocation and his writing and looked into, his beliefs and his roots. And he did that throughout the course of his lifetime. And he eventually got a doctorate in theology and worked in different countries in Europe, and always, though, home was in Ireland. And in 1997, he published Anam Cara. And in the Irish language, Anam Cara means soul friend. And it's a book that goes from life through death and talks about the spirituality that's believed in the Irish culture. And not long after writing this book and having it published, he found that his vocation and his calling was no longer in the priesthood, which he left in 2000. He ended up continuing to write and to read and to learn. He fell in love with a woman, he traveled, he spoke. And sadly, 3 days after his 52nd birthday, he passed in his sleep. His writings, though, captured the hearts of so many people, and there were 4 books that were written of him, of his work, of his writings, of his poetry that were published posthumously. And so I was hoping to share with you a poem of great meaning to me by John O'Donohue, and it's called On the Death of the Beloved, Blessing and a Funeral Poem. Though we need to weep your loss, you dwell in that safe place in our heart where no storm or night or pain can reach you. Your love was like the dawn, brightening our lives, awakening beneath the dark, a further adventure of color. The sound of your voice found for us a new music that brightened everything. Whatever you unfolded in your gaze, quickened in the joy of its being, you placed smiles like flowers on the altar of the heart. Your mind always sparkled with wonder at things. Though your days here were brief, your spirit was alive, awake, complete. We look toward each other no longer from the old distance of our names. Now you dwell inside the rhythm of breath, as close to us as you are to ourselves. Though we cannot see you with our outward eyes, we know our soul's gaze is upon your face, smiling back at us from within everything, to which we bring our best refinement. Let us not look for you only in memory, where we would grow lonely without you. You would want us to find you in presence, besides us, when beauty brightens, when kindness glows, and music echoes eternal tones. When orchids brighten the earth, darkest winter has turned to spring. May this dark grief flower with hope in every heart that loves you. May you continue to inspire us to enter each day with a generous heart, to serve the call of courage and love until we see your beautiful face again in that land where there is no more separation, where all tears will be wiped from our mind, and where we will never lose you again. So for those of you in whatever phase of grief you find yourself here today, may you find comfort in these words, and may you look to share them with each and every one. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lily Rose Proctor. I'm a junior at Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical High School, and I'm a youth leader on the High Point BITK Youth Coalition. The BITK Youth Coalition is a group of 25 students around Southeastern Mass who meet on a monthly basis to plan and implement substance use prevention and mental health promotion initiatives. I joined the Youth Coalition because my father died of a drug overdose at the age of 35, and my mom, when she was young, was diagnosed with bipolar. Seeing both of my parents struggle with these issues has made me want to take initiative in this area. I feel strongly about reducing stigma and bringing awareness to these topics. Tonight, I have the pleasure of introducing the first speakers from Curran's Calling. Karen and Jim Tierney are parents of Curran Tierney, who was taken too soon at the age of 27 in 2023. Although they now live in Nevada, they are both originally from Massachusetts and raised Curran in Framingham, Mass. They are the founders of Curran's Calling, a scholarship foundation for those seeking recovery from addiction. Please join me in welcoming Jim and Karen to the podium to share their story.
Good evening. Thank you for having us here tonight. You obviously know who we are. We were asked to talk about grief tonight, a subject I suspect many of you know firsthand. The Curran before drugs was a loving, talented, happy, hardworking young man. He was a wonderful drummer, had an infectious laugh, and could connect with you immediately. All that began to change after he was exposed to drugs. The Curran we knew faded away. His struggle with addiction lasted nearly 14 years until fentanyl finally claimed his life. Losing a loved one is challenging for anyone. I know many of you know that. For us, losing our only child was devastating. But be it a parent, spouse, partner, sibling, friend, child, their death creates a hole in your heart that does not fill with time. Our loved ones are gone. They never again feel the joy, the humor, the goodness of our world. We can't text them, we can't call them, can't hug them. That special person we knew and loved is no longer here with us in this world. And so we're left with questions, memories, photos, and grief. If you believe in God as we do, our loved ones now exist beyond our reality, and so they no longer feel pain, sorrow, or the agony of life. Nothing that they experienced while using substances is bothering them any longer, and so we take solace in that, knowing that they're now in a better place, beyond our concern. And even if this world treated them harshly, they now feel the joy and wonder of that new experience. Grief is a really interesting concept. It expands many, many aspects of our lives, and it's very personal. For us, losing a child was, of course, among the worst things that could have ever happened. It's not natural for children to bury their parents. Parents to bury their children. And the raw pain that we felt after we heard he died of a fentanyl overdose was just beyond comprehension. Nothing prepared us for that. It eclipsed everything we had ever felt before and thrust us into a world we couldn't imagine. We withdrew. We hid ourselves from family, friends, work, life in general. It was a dark abyss. And it covered every aspect of our lives for months to come. Even today, even just driving down here today, there isn't an hour that goes by where Curran doesn't enter our minds somehow. It could be a sight, a sound, a breeze, the colors we see, the towns we drive in. So many things trigger thoughts of him. That hole he left behind is always there. It heals, but it doesn't ever fill. However, Curran's death wasn't really our first brush with grief. Having lived with his addiction for 14 years, we began to feel grief long before he died. There was a grief we felt when we realized he was addicted. There was immense pain watching him suffer the effects of drugs that would one day take his life. There was grief in watching his potential slip away. We watched him go from someone who was happy, smart, loving, and energetic into somebody that he lost control over his life. He lost his family, his friends, his job, all his money. And we watched him become sicker, and we watched his ability to recover get harder. There was grief watching the impact on our family. Over time, the family members stopped asking about him. They didn't want to hear the latest bad news. Oh, they broke contact with him completely because he would call them reaching out for money or food or rent. And there was always why he was actively using. There was grief when he disappeared. He would go months without knowing where he was, or who he was with, or was he even alive. We feared getting the phone call that eventually came. There was grief in reading all the books written by many wonderful people about how to deal with addiction in your family. And it was interesting because we didn't realize how common this scourge was. And so many other families are affected, but we still felt utterly alone. There was grief when he called begging for food because he was starving. And knowing that any help we offer him is enabling his addiction, but at the same time, you don't want him to suffer and starve. There was grief in the fear that he might break into our house some night and try to steal from us so that he could feed his addiction. And having to confront him in that moment was something that kept me awake a lot of nights. And there was grief in watching him go to court and facing consequences for his actions. seeing your child stand in front of a judge to hear a sentence being given, and then watching him go to jail afterwards was depressing. And there was even grief with knowing that there were family members who were codependents in his addiction. Instead of taking the advice from the experts who knew what we needed to do, they would make excuses and they would enable him and they would shun effective treatment. There was grief.
There was grief in seeing him truly change people's lives, despite the fact that he couldn't stay in treatment. At various times, during his recovery, Curran helped several people get into treatments that saved their lives. Can you hear me? Yep. We are still in touch with many of those people, and they're absolutely thriving. And they're thriving because of Curran. One of those instances was the very week he died. He saved someone's life that week, and he would say that he just couldn't save himself. The biggest grief of all was actually knowing that we were powerless, absolutely powerless, to help him overcome his addiction. Despite our love, our effort, our money, our hope, we could not change the course that he was on. That change needed to come from within him. And unfortunately, he was never able to make that key decision to get clean and to stay clean because he had just had enough. Oddly, powerlessness is also freeing. After Curran died and during the absolute depths of our grief, when we were seeking God's support, it came to us that our powerlessness in a way was a blessing. While we didn't cause his addiction, we also didn't have the power to stop it. That power rested between Curran and God. There is freedom in finally recognizing that whatever we did or didn't do, it wasn't going to change. We were always ready to support his recovery when he wanted it, and we always did what we could within our earthly powers. It just wasn't enough. One of us remembers thinking after Curran died that if the situation had been reversed, he was the one left behind, we would not want him to mourn us and retreat from life. We would encourage him to move on and to pursue his career, travel, and to enjoy his time in this world. And so that's a decision that we made. We decided to honor him, to acknowledge all the remarkable support and grace that he received from others during his journey. We wanted to pay it forward so that others might have a chance if they wanted to take it. So a year after he died, we started the Curran J. Tierney Foundation, called Curran's Calling. We just turned 2 in June, and we have helped more than 130 people access sober living. We seek to help people who can't afford it, who no longer have financial means, who have struggled with their families. And we believe Curran is smiling down upon his namesake today because he did a pretty good job helping people himself. Curran died, leaving behind a fiance and a 6-month-old baby girl, gifts to us. In them, he left us a legacy and some very positive focus. Today, Mei Lin is nearly 4 years old. She's an amazing little lady. She has his zest for life, his fearlessness, taking on challenges. She knows her daddy's in heaven and that he loves her. She talks to him often at night before she goes to sleep. It gives us joy and sorrow. But we do our best to keep him alive for her. His fiance is coming up on 2 years sober. She's very, very active in the recovery community. Moved with us to Nevada, where she is now leading meetings, women's meetings, and getting very actively involved. Someone else told us one time that our loved ones are on loan to us. Eventually, they must return to their heavenly realm. This brings us comfort. There is joy in living, knowing that Curran was with us for nearly 28 years and that he touched our lives so profoundly. We have so many incredible memories of him, and these bring us warmth and peace and make us smile, and we share them with his little girl. We were blessed to have him as long as we have him, and we know that in time we will be reunited. We don't wallow in our sadness. He lives on through us and through his daughter and his fiance. Faith in God, deep reflection, and trying to make something good come from his loss provides us with a sense of recovery and a sense of purpose. So yes, we still hurt. There's still a hole, but we move on with grief. Thank you for listening to our story.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Good evening, everyone. My name is Gabby Sullivan, and I am from High Point Treatment Center. I'm honored here tonight representing our prevention services team and to share some new news around our local coalition, EB Hope, which strives to officially relaunch in the community of East Bridgewater. And so here tonight, before I get to introduce our performer, we're just sharing about how EB Hope really strives to build a healthier and safer community by strengthening mental health, preventing substance use, and encouraging social emotional growth for individuals and families of all ages. So I join you in engaging with EB Hope in the East Bridgewater community. It is now my pleasure to introduce tonight's performer, Vicki Lynch. Vicki has shared her healing power of music at this vigil for the past 10 years, and we are so grateful to have her with us again this evening. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Vicki.
And I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am alive. I am alive. I am alive.
Thank you so much, Vicki and Cooper. Hi, everyone. My name is Mackenzie Latham. I'm a prevention coordinator with High Point Treatment Center. Tonight, we are honored to welcome Marissa, who has graciously chosen to share her story of recovery and hope with us. Thank you, Marissa, for being here with us tonight. Please join me in welcoming her.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Marissa, and I'm a recovering alcoholic and addict. I'm deeply honored to stand here tonight as one of the very first recipients of a scholarship through Currents Calling. Their support has made it possible for me to enter sober living. They supported me for 2 months of my sober living, and then continuously after that, helped me with an independent scholarship, which come to find out I'm the only receiver of that scholarship thus far, where they helped me receive my first month's rent to find a place to live outside of sober living and to get a leg to stand on. And, you know, that financial message is that you're not alone. You know what I mean? You're worth building and investing in. And like that type of confidence is something that is like you don't really you never really have it. Otherwise, if you had some kind of like instillment or confidence like that growing up, you wouldn't be confiding in drugs and alcohol, is what I believe. You know what I mean? Suffering from tons of anxiety as a child, I believe I was born with this disease. As far back as I can remember, about 6 years old, I started to notice, or my parents started to notice behaviors about me. We used to live down in Florida, close to the beach, and what I would do whenever I was scared or uncomfortable with something that was happening in my life is I would sneak out at 6 years old in the middle of the night, walk on the beach with a bag or a bucket, and just collect endless amounts of seashells. And I would not part with any of them. I would bring them all back with me. And at the time, I didn't realize that that was me trying to cope with something within me. You know what I mean? Very reckless behavior for a 6-year-old to escape in the middle of the night, but kind of innocent at the same time, so not something to be reprimanded for. You know, continuing on with that, like into my like adulthood, into high school, starting to grow up and everything like that. Experimenting with recreational drugs like smoking and things like that, something that's like not as aggressive as what you would call like harder drugs or alcohol, like seems also very innocent. That's kind of like a dabbling that you do whenever you go into high school, I feel like. But I didn't really, I'll tell you the truth, I didn't enjoy getting high or drunk, you know, whenever I was being introduced to it at a young age. I remember distinctively feeling outside of myself and feeling like completely out of control. And that was something that was never really like a part of what I wanted. I always want to be in control. You know what I mean? That's kind of my issue, you know? And like, I forced it anyway because after I had moved from Florida to North Carolina, I remember getting involved with a crowd of people that were, you know, a little less fortunate than I was because they accepted me, you know what I mean? And it was kind of like I just was so unbelievably starved and like not in the way of food or clothes or like a place to sleep because I never had to struggle in that way, you know, voluntarily anyway. But like it was more like I was starved of community and connection, you know, and I didn't realize any of those things, you know, finding all these different ways to go in and out of myself, to try to dissect myself, trying to, you know, experiment on myself, you know, to deal with things within myself that were like just absolutely incapable of being cured from my own way of doing it. And it was just endless, you know, and I continued on that way, like all the way through my 20s. We're through the spiral here. And then by that point, like, you know, at 18 years old, I'm a full-blown heroin addict. Like, that's how quickly this progresses. You know what I mean? But like, again, the lead up to this was completely innocent. You know what I mean? Just being lonely, wanting to be in control of myself, wanting to know what was going on with myself. It wasn't like a solid choice. Like, I'm gonna veer hard right this way. I choose this way. It was a very slow progression in that direction. And then by the time I got to my 20s, I told myself that alcohol and drugs was a luxury. It was an extra thing for the longest time. And that's what kept me in the disease, in the delusion for so long, was that I continued to explain to everyone, like, I just do this because I enjoy it. And that is absolute bullcrap, because it owned me. It owned me. Like, everything about it owned me. I completely did my life around drugs and alcohol, and it was vicious. And I had no idea that it like pre-directed my path, my career path. I worked in kitchens for 12 years from the time I was 18 till up and recently, until I got sober. And not to like blame the industry, but let's just be very serious. Like, it's a very, you know, complimentary type of environment to be in, you know what I mean? So I just like set myself up in every way that I could to be able to use and drink the way that I wanted to. And I didn't even know that until now, you know what I mean? Continued down that slope for a long time. I managed to get sober off of heroin, but continued with alcohol. Less obvious that you have a problem when it's more socially acceptable, I suppose. But regardless, it was hideous, the amount of self-discovery that was needed for me to really refine myself. And then up until December 27th, 2023, I had many jackpots at this point. I lost my license. I had lost all my jobs. I was basically living in my parents' basement, doing massive paint pours, like consuming fumes and being an absolute loner. And I basically needed to go to the store to get alcohol. So I called an Uber, and the guy picked me up. And with it being the holidays, it was a guy dressed as Santa Claus in a red Prius that picked me up to take me to the store. And I went and grabbed as much alcohol as I could, and I put it in my backpack. And I remember it spilling all out in his back seat, and him helping me pick it up. And he asked me, he goes, "Did you get enough?" And I said, "I think so." And then he paused for a moment and then looked at me and said, "Have you had enough?" And I just kind of like, for the first time, like, was just sober enough. I don't know how to put my finger on it. And like, a lot of people in recovery like talk about this calling, or this moment of clarity that you possess. And then, you know, there's sometimes not enough mistakes that have been made for you to understand what that moment is when it's called to you. And for whatever reason, I just left the car, said nothing to the man, and started to walk up my parents' very long driveway in New Hampshire. And I thought to myself, I think I have had enough. I like, literally, and I can't believe Santa Claus just said that, you know what I mean? And I'm not kidding about any of that stuff. And I started to walk up the driveway, and it was like the first time in my life that I could view this whole situation, and I didn't have to think about forever. It was like I was able to see the clarity of the moment. And I was like, okay, I don't have to think about how hard this is going to be, how much work it's going to take, how much effort I'm going to have to put in to become a better version of myself. All I know is that right now I want to become a better version of myself. And if I don't do something about it in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to change my mind, and I'm going to continue down the path. And I went right upstairs, told my dad I was going to take me to treatment right now. And he did. And that's the course that I took. And that's how I finally got sober, and it changed my life forever. I thank you guys. After that moment, I went to treatment. I followed all the protocols. I did the 30 days. I went to sober living for about a little over a year. And the most important thing that I did was I just took the suggestions. I just started to listen to everyone before me. I started to utilize all the resources. And, you know, a lot of me didn't want to even book a dentist appointment for myself when I was in treatment. So having to reach out to Curran's Calling was an effort in and of itself. And I was like, oh, they're not going to take care of me. They're not going to help me. It's what's the point? You know what I mean? And then it was almost like the moment, it was so effortless, just the help that they provided for me, because I just express my genuine heart to them, and how they've helped me is just I can't believe the direction of my life has been changed forever because of it, you know? And therefore, you know, I'm just so grateful to be here today because, 12 years of trying to figure out the rights and the wrongs and to make the connections that I needed, I shouldn't have been here right now, you know? I would be lying to you guys if I didn't acknowledge a heaviness on my heart today. So this past Thursday, my older brother of 33 just passed away from cirrhosis of the liver. And it was very heart-wrenching. We really thought that he was going to make it. And I am beside myself with grief right now, and I cannot believe that I'm even able to stand here and do what I'm doing. But you know what? The thing is that it felt wrong to not be here tonight, to not mention him. I'm here to tell you guys, I might not sound peppy, I might not sound hopeful, but if I am able to stand here and speak right now in recovery with no intention of using drugs or alcohol, then I promise there's hope for anyone in this crowd that absolutely needs it, because there's no way that I could have done this 2.5 years ago. I've learned that hope isn't a feeling that you get. It's a practice that you have to do on a regular basis. It's a doing the thing that you don't want to do. It's taking someone's hand instead of isolating. It's one small step towards connection every single day until it turns into life. I want to thank you guys again for letting me honor my brother. And I want to thank you again for allowing me to have the honor and the privilege to honor your family members that are not here today as well. And thank you all again for having me. Marissa, alcoholic and addict. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marissa.
Must have been in a place so dark, couldn't feel the light, reaching for you through that stormy cloud. always played with passion, no matter what the game. And when you took the stage, you shined just like the sun. That's what I keep asking. Was there anything that I could have said or done? Oh, I had no clue you were masking a troubled soul, and oh, God only knows what went wrong. Why you would leave the stage in the middle of a song? Oh yeah. Now the oak trees are swaying in the early autumn breeze, and the golden sun is shining on my face. Through tangled thoughts I hear the mockingbird sing, and maybe this old world really ain't that bad a place. There's no comprehending, but who am I to try to judge or explain? Oh, but I do have one burning question. Who told you life wasn't worth the fight? They run and they lie. Now you're gone and we cry, 'cause it's not like you to walk away in the middle of a song. Oh, beautiful song. You're absolutely beautiful song. Thank you.
Good evening. Can everyone hear me? Sorry. My name is Caitlin Robichaud, and I am truly honored to be here with you tonight. In my role as an adjustment counselor at Whitman-Hanson Regional High School, a member of the Whitman-Hanson Will Coalition, and the advisor for the Active Minds chapter, I have the privilege of working alongside incredible individuals who share a deep commitment to substance use prevention and mental health advocacy. But I'm here tonight not only as an advocate, I'm here as someone who knows the heartbreak of loss. I am part of the unfortunate group that many of us belong to, those who have lost a loved one to addiction. My beautiful sister lost her battle 5 years ago tomorrow, and tonight her picture will be among those that we honor. I'm deeply grateful to stand here in a community that understands this pain and offers support through shared remembrance. When this vigil first began in 2013, the memorial slideshow honored 22 lives. Tonight, 12 years later, we will honor 473 individuals. That number is staggering, but evenings like this remind us that we are not alone, that together we hold a space both for grief and for hope. Thank you for being here tonight and for honoring the lives of those that we've lost. It's my privilege to introduce this year's 2025 Memorial Slideshow.
I'll feel the fear for you. I'll cry your tears for you. I'll do anything I can to make you comfortable. Even if I fall down when you're not around, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. 'Cause if I fall, you fall. And if I rise, we'll rise together. When I smile, you'll smile. And don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. I'll feel the fear for you. I'll cry your tears for you. I'll do anything I can to make you comfortable. Even if I fall down when you're not around, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. I'll climb the hills you face. I'll do this in your place. I'd do anything to go through it instead of you. But even if I fall down when you're not around, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. 'Cause if I fall, you fall. And if I rise, we rise together. When I smile, you smile. And don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. 'Cause if I fall, you fall. And if I rise, we rise together. When I smile, you smile. And don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. If I fall, you fall. And if I rise, we'll rise together. When I smile, you'll smile. And don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me.
Loving can hurt. Loving can hurt sometimes, but it's the only thing that I know. When it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes. It is the only thing that makes us feel alive. We keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, our hearts are never broken, and time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. Wait for me to come home. Loving can heal. loving can mend your soul, and it's the only thing that I know. I swear it will get easier. Remember that with every piece of you. And it's the only thing we take with us when we die. We keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, hearts were never broken, time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. And if you hurt me, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. Wait for me to come home. 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 Oh, you can fit me inside the necklace you got when you were 16, next to your heartbeat where I should be. Keep it deep within your soul. And if you hurt me, well, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. When I'm away, I will remember how you kissed me under the lamppost back on 6th Street, hearing you whisper through the phone, wait for me to come home.
All of the time that we took for granted, thinking tomorrow's just another day. Sun on your face with the windows open. I never got the chance to say, I know your wings are getting heavy. You can let go when you're ready to fly, fly. I know I'm meet between heaven and the sky. I'll try. I'm gonna try to find the good after goodbye. Butterfly, you come down to visit your favorite flower, catching the wind in the light of day. Keep sending me bittersweet reminders, signs you're never really far away. You know I will always need you. I feel better when I see you. Fly, fly. I know I'm meet between heaven and the sky. I'll try. I'm gonna try to find the good after goodbye. Butterfly. butterfly.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. You just got to see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Whoa, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. To an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Well, there's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Whoa, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around now. Thought I'd see you far away
now. Some things fast, some things slow. Some things take time to grow. When all I know is that I'm feeling numbed out, run down, made of stone. There is something telling me that all I need to do is keep moving on. I take it one step at a time. When the mountain in front of me hangs over everything, I take it one breath at a time. When the world that is all I see feels like too much for me, put one foot in front of the other, one breath after another. I take it one step at a time, take it one step at a time. Some things last, some things go. If we just stand here, we'll never know. The road far up ahead of me is feeling like eternity I can't conceive. There is something telling me that all I need to do is keep on moving my feet. I take it one step at a time. When the mountain in front of me hangs over everything, take it one breath at a time. When the world that is all I see feels like too much for me, put one foot in front of the other, one breath after another. I take it one step at a time, take it one step at a time, put one foot in front of the other, one breath after another. I take it one step at a time, take it one step at a time.
I think of you when I think about forever. I hear a joke and I know you would have told it better. I think of you out of the blue when I'm watching a movie that you'd hate. You'd say it, you were never one to hesitate. You were always first in line, so why would it be different for heaven? But I got a couple questions. Is there a bar up there where you've got a favorite chair, where you sit with friends and talk about the weather? Is there a place you go to watch the sunset? And oh, is there a song you just can't wait to share? Yeah, I know you'll tell me when I get there. Do you think of me? Do you wish that I would slow down? Are there some things that you've seen that feel like home now? Are you up there climbing trees, singing brand new melodies? I hope you are. I know you are. Is there a bar up there where you've got a favorite chair, where you sit with friends and talk about the weather? Is there a place you go to watch the sunset? And oh, is there a song you just can't wait to share? Yeah, I know you'll tell me when I get there. Yeah, yeah, you'll tell me when I get there. Will you save me a place with all those pearls of wisdom? Yeah, I'll make some mistakes, and you watch me as I live them till I'm through, till I'm with you. Is there a bar up there where you've got a favorite chair, where you sit with friends and talk about the weather? Is there a place you go to watch the sunset? And oh, is there a song you just can't wait to share? Yeah, I know you'll tell me when I get there. Yeah, I think of you when I think about forever.
I can hear the words you speak when the west wind whispers. I can hear your voice ring clear in the evergreens. Am I who you thought I'd be? Am I what you pictured? Did you have me standing here in your wildest dreams? Oh, just like a memory, you never left me. You just left too soon. I'll save you a seat next to me. You're always at the table. Hope you're proud of what you see. Watching with the angels. You're written in my soul. It's your blood that I bleed. Wherever you are, wherever I'll be, I'll save you a seat. So I still get shivers, running like a family car down on Corford Day. Did you find Mom up there? Tell me, are you with her? I wonder if the ones who go miss the ones who stay. Oh, just like a memory, you never left me. You just left too soon. I'll save you a seat next to me. You're always at the table. Hope you're proud of what you see. Watching with the angels. You're written in my soul. It's your blood that I bleed. Wherever you are, wherever I'll be, I'll save you a seat. Keep your room like nothing's changed. Tried to love, but it's not the same. Not damn near broke when I heard your name. You had to go, you couldn't stay. So I'll save you a seat next to me. You're always at the table. Hope you're proud of what you see. Watching with the angels.
No matter what the cost or the distance, no bounds between our hearts, we're connected. If and when you can't see me there, I'm holding the weight you can't bear. No mountain, no scale to meet you. My love will find a way to reach you. From the breeze kissing your cheek to the gentle smile of a stranger. Rivers will dry, tide's gonna turn, sun will rise and fall, and still I
morning, there's a message on my phone. It's my mother saying, darling, please come home. I fear the worst. How could you leave us all behind? There's so much to say, but there's so little time. So how do I say goodbye to someone who's been with me for my whole damn life? You gave me my name and the color of your eyes, to see your face when I look at mine. So how do I say goodbye when I couldn't? You always saw the best in me. Right or wrong, you were always on my side. But I'm scared of what life without you's like. And I saw the way she looked into your eyes. And I promise if you go, I will make sure she's alright. So how do I say goodbye to someone who's been with me for my whole damn life? You gave me my name and the color of your eyes, to see your face when I look at mine. So how do I say goodbye? And there's no way you could ever let me down. Gonna steal some time and start again. You'll always be my closest friend, and someday we're gonna make it out. Just hold the light, just hold the light high, high. So how do I say goodbye to someone who's been with me for my whole damn life? You gave me my name and the color of your eyes, I see your face when I look at mine. So how do I say goodbye? So how do I say goodbye?
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out, and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. You, for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
You taught me the courage of stars before you left. How light carries on endlessly, even after death, with sureness of breath. You explain the infinite, how rare and beautiful it is to even exist. And I couldn't help but ask you to say it all again. I tried to write it down, but I could never find the pen. I'd give anything to hear you say it one more time, that the universe was made just to be seen by my eyes. And I couldn't help but ask you to say it all again. I tried to write it down, but I could never find the pen. I'd give anything to hear you say it one more time, that the universe was made just to be seen by my eyes. The shortness of breath, I'll explain the infinite, how rare and beautiful it truly is that we exist.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kara Ferguson, and I am a prevention coordinator for the Brockton Area Prevention Collaborative. Before our team sends you all off for the night, I would like to take a moment to extend some heartfelt thank yous to everyone involved who played a key role in making this night happen. I first would like to thank our three speakers, Jim, Karen, and Marissa. Your vulnerability and strength were truly the highlights of our evening. Thank you to Mackenzie Latham for the beautiful memorial slideshow, and to Vicki Lynch and Cooper for the music that helped carry us through. To our volunteers, partners, and community leaders who showed up behind the scenes so tonight could happen, you were the quiet and valuable backbone of this vigil. To our families and friends who shared the names and memories of your loved ones, Thank you for trusting us with what you hold most precious in your hearts. Something I wrestled with in my own relationship to grief is how, from an outsider's perspective, grief can appear to be a singular moment. The moment of someone's passing, the moment you get the call, perhaps the funeral and the services. And from a distance, grief ends up boiling down to an anniversary on a calendar rather than the ongoing reckoning of our soul that it is. But for those of us at the center of it, that one moment stretches. It consumes weeks, months, sometimes years of our lives. And as time moves on, it can feel confusing, almost like a form of betrayal. The farther we get from the day that our person passed, the farther away we can feel from them. In trying to keep their memory alive, we can often lose pieces of ourselves in the process. We know our loved ones would want us to smile again and to love again, and yet when that very joy arrives at our doorsteps, it can sting. How can I sit in this happiness when they aren't here to share it? And tonight's vigil is just one of those moments too. In a few minutes, you'll make your way to your cars, leave this campus, and return on with your lives. But within this moment, here and now, we get the gift of speaking of our loved ones in the present tense. Their physical presence may be gone, but their love hasn't gone anywhere, and the joy they brought us still offers comfort in our hardest hours. Their memory still sparks a fire in us to keep living and to keep fighting for a kinder future. And how rare and precious it is to be together with people who get it. Grief can be extremely lonely. It's easy to believe no one understands what you're carrying, but tonight in this room, or in this campus, in this quad, we are surrounded by the people who do. I hope you all found small pockets of levity here, giving yourselves the permission to laugh and to smile. Because remembering and living are not opposites. They can coexist, and in fact, they desperately need each other. There's power in connection. When we tell the stories of our loved ones, both the brightest and the hardest, our loved ones' lives continue through our words. And through every conversation, every shared memory, and every act of care that we offer to someone else, their light keeps traveling far and wide. Before we part, I invite you to take a quiet breath, and if you wish, whisper your person's name, whether it's to yourself, to the sky, or to the person beside you. Let that name be heard, and let that love be felt. And finally, on behalf of the Brockton Area Prevention Collaborative, thank you for trusting us with your stories and your hearts. Please be sure to take care of yourselves on the way home, and be sure to check in with one another. As you go, give yourselves the grace to know that that feeling of joy does not betray your grief. It honors the very love that made that grief possible. And now I ask you to, if you would all, please join me in welcoming Vicki Lynch and Cooper back to the stage for our final song. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Amanda, and everybody for having me. As always, I appreciate you guys. Get home safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.